This is the plaintiff, Isham El-Kasboui. He says he moved in with the defendant and rented a room in his house, which was very close to his new job at Disney World in Orlando, Florida. About a week later, they went to a strip club together and made a bet in jest, which technically he lost. 2 days after that, the guy told him there was a problem and demanded he move out. The defendant turned out to be a real hothead who threatened him, threw him out on the street, and he's here to get the $1,570 he's owed. This is the defendant, Darnell. He says the plaintiff snuck out of his house carrying bags, and that was the last time he saw or heard from the guy. Until now, that is. The guy never even told him he was leaving, and as a precaution, he changed the locks in case he came back to rob him. He has no idea how in this great land we live in he could be sued when the guy moved out on his own and left him high and dry. He's accused of being goofy.
All parties, please raise your right hand.
Welcome back to the People's Court. Next case on the docket, the plaintiff rented the defendant's room near Disney World, says everything was okay until they went to a strip club. He lost a bet and then got kicked out of the place. Now the defendant says the plaintiff just left. So what's the deal? It's the case of it's a small claims court world after all.
Thank you, Douglas.
You're welcome.
Okay. Pronounce your name for me.
My name is Isham El-Kasboui.
Okay, sir, you are suing Darnell. You've asked to be referred to only as Darnell, correct?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. All right, what happened?
Yes, Your Honor. I moved to the two-bedroom two-bath on September 30th of last year. The defendant had one bedroom, one bed to rent.
Are you guys roommates?
Yes, roommates.
Roommates. All right, and things go fine for how long?
10 days.
Only 10 days.
Absolutely.
Okay, and then what happens?
What's happening is the defendant came to me. He wanted an advance on November rent because his mom was broke. He was on the phone talking to her from Miami. He told me, if you can just do half of the rent of November, and you're gonna help me get
to help his mother. Yeah. All right, so he asked you, it's now October, you've paid October rent.
I'm sorry, Judge, October and deposit, by the way.
And the security deposit.
Exactly.
So you paid $600 for security and $600 for October.
That's
and
correct.
then he says to you, can you pay me half of the November rent?
Exactly.
And do you?
Yes, I did. However, when he was speaking to his mom on the phone, he told me, hey, you know what, Isham, if you can just make it the full month.
Okay, so did you do that?
I did that.
Okay,
so
you paid November rent in advance and gave him the $600. Okay, and then what happens?
I mean, what's happened is...
that actually happens again in November, right? Where he asked for December rent?
Right.
And you paid part of it?
Yes,
Well, how much?
$350 and... Okay. In the same day, he told me, could you get me some gas money in my car?
The same day as he's asking for November rent?
Exactly. And we went to the grocery store. He asked me, could you buy foods and cook for me?
Oh, geez,
so
what?
For me, yeah.
And what? Were you looking to date him?
Oh, no. No, I mean, I do cook. I do cook for everyone. For me, it's pleasure to cook to anyone. You know.
What do you do for a living?
I cook.
Oh, you cook for a living. You're a chef.
Right. Right.
Okay. So how much gas money did you give him?
$20.
Okay. So now, when does something go wrong? November?
Everything went wrong on October when we went to a strip club.
To where?
A strip club.
A strip club?
Yeah.
Okay.
So we went to a strip club.
And once again, that no good can come. Go ahead.
So we went to a strip club and we did a bet for a dancer.
What do you mean?
Well, I get along with a dancer. We've been chit-chatting, and afterwards she went to work around. And it did happen that she was dancing close by.
But what was the bet?
Well, he was telling me...
Was there a lot of alcohol involved in the bet?
I mean, yes.
Okay.
How do you know somebody isn't psycho when you have to get a roommate through an advertisement?
I don't know. I think you just have to go with your instincts on that. It's hard to tell.
You ever see Single White Female?
Oh, I haven't.
Watch the movie. Going inside the courtroom.
He was telling me, that's the girl you spoke with. I said, no, that's not the one. So we were talking about
You
different
couldn't
girls.
figure out if that was the same girl, and so you made a bet on whether that was the same girl you've been speaking to earlier?
Well, he did the bet.
And the bet was for how much money?
Well, I do not recall. I mean,
And then what happened? So when you guys get into a big fight over the bet, why? Because who won the bet?
well, I mean, the next morning, he came up with such attitude, yelling at me that he owes me money, and he had 14 witnesses for a bet that we went for only for fun.
Okay, so he's not mad at you for not paying the bet?
Exactly.
So that day goes wrong, and then what happens?
Well, I mean, I understood that we cannot share anymore
The place. And this is
yeah.
what day that this is happening?
This happened on October 17th.
October 17th, where you've already paid in advance November and part of December.
Exactly.
So then what happens? You say to each other, we can't live together?
Well, Judge, his binge drinking took a toll. At 5 in the morning, he had a friend come in, playing PlayStation and drinking and talking loudly and everything, you know. So I had to leave. It was a Saturday, the 3rd, November the 3rd. So he called me mid-afternoon. He told me, I am having people coming over for a football game, and I'm gonna have to use your bathroom. I mean, the
Use your bedroom?
Yeah, no, the bathroom.
Okay.
Of.
Do you have two bathrooms? He has a bathroom. You have a bathroom.
Exactly.
So he tells you, and you say no. You don't use my bathroom.
Of course, I said, why you do not use yours? He told me, no, this is my place.
Okay.
All the time, this is my place.
So you
and this
moved
is
out, and you want back your security deposit. You want back the November rent. You want back the part you paid for December, and you want back the gas money because you feel that he shouldn't be able to hold on to any of these things if he made the place completely impossible for you to live in by those demands. You tell me your version. Why are you keeping all this money?
Well, at least I know he's in love with me now, for sure.
Why? Because he went to a strip
has
club
to be
with you?
because he said I cook for him. But anyway,
yeah, he could cook for you and not be in love with you. That was a joke.
Judge, honestly, his job, what do you say, within 13 days, I was an impression.
I want to understand why you're holding on to November and December and everything else. What happened that made him move out? What happened? Tell me about the
moving out.
First of all, go back to the strip bar. What was the bet?
Okay, the strip bar, the guy didn't have a car. And I took him places, the grocery stores and all of that. And yes, I do go to the entertainment spots. I can't force him not to not go.
I can't force him not to go. I don't even know what that means.
He knows what he's looking at. Come on, Judge. I mean, he
I don't
knows
understand
what he's looking
why. What are you? Of course, he knows what he's looking at. You went together to a strip club.
No.
That's not how we do it.
So the strip. Okay, so he was infatuated by this female. This is our second time coming. He said, I have to see this girl. So we sitting here drinking. And I said, look at the young lady right there. That's the same young lady. No, it's not.
Oh, and he's saying, no, that's not the girl I liked the last time.
That's the girl. She even came up to him. No, that's not the one. That's not the one. Let's make a bet. We made a bet at what, 200-300?
200 or 300? You don't know?
300.
Why don't you make it $1 million?
But that was all in fun. That was all in fun. But because after that, you know, he said, okay, I agree with that. And I did have the witnesses, but I ain't never, that was just something to do.
He says that was the beginning of the end. This argument the next day when everybody's sober where you're telling him you owe me $300. How could you tell a guy who's paid? You did collect November and part of October, December in advance, helping you out because you have, obviously you have financial issues. Otherwise you wouldn't be going to your, listen, when you're collecting November and December, it's because you have financial issues. So, which is probably why you're renting him the room to begin with. And so now here you are collecting November and December in advance. And is it true that the next day you're yelling at him because he owes you money?
No, Judge. No, Your Honor.
So what was the problem between you two that caused him to move out?
The problem was when he came, he didn't even come to me. I had a telephone call from my landlord, said this guy called drunk, said he wanted his money back. Okay, that's fine. I tried to call him. He claimed that he lost his phone. Okay, when he lost his phone, I opened up my door, everything is gone.
Why hadn't you opened up your door before that?
Because that's his privacy. I'm not going to do that.
Oh, his door, the door
Right.
that. Okay.
That's his privacy.
Okay.
We shouldn't even be.
So you're saying he snuck out?
He just left.
And when did he tell you, look, I can't live there?
He didn't.
Did you ever have a conversation with him, or it was just obvious you couldn't live there?
No, it was obvious. I
Okay.
couldn't
Did you
live
have a
there.
party and say your bathrooms for my guest?
No, when he moved in there, I said, if any case, any kind of your family members or my family members come up, they're going to have to use the bathroom because the next bathroom is inside my room. So that's where anybody. I mean, I told him that wasn't.
So did you have a party towards the end of your tenancy here? Did
you know, during the football, basketball games, you got people coming up.
Did you have an argument with him about whether your guests would be using his bathroom?
We don't have no arguments.
Did you talk to him about whether your guests?
I told him from the beginning.
Did you tell him again at that time? Did
Yes.
it come up?
No. Yes.
Did you tell him this is my place and therefore
I don't have to do that because I'm not that type of a person.
So you never had that conversation?
No, ma'am.
Okay. On what grounds are you keeping the security deposit November rent and the December rent if he moved out in October?
Because he left on his own. I didn't put him out.
Do
I
you
didn't
have a
evict
lease
him.
with him?
We don't have a lease.
Okay, so then what you have by operation of law in the state of Florida is a month-to-month tenancy. Why would you ever be able, even in the light most favorable to you, if he didn't give you any notice about leaving and you're entitled to November rent, how on God's green acres are you entitled to keep the security deposit and December portion?
How can you sue somebody and you don't even, the person left on his own?
It doesn't matter. Once he leaves, you know he left. So now you can re-rent the place. You can mitigate your damages. He ends up leaving because you guys went to a strip club and had an argument over the strip club and whether that was a stripper and I don't like you using my bathroom. That is not making the place uninhabitable. That is making it so that you don't want to live with him anymore. So he doesn't have to return to you November rent because you didn't give him enough notice for November. He's entitled to November rent, but you don't have a right to keep a security deposit because you only get paid once for November, not twice. Okay, so you don't have a right to keep a security deposit. You don't have a right to keep December rent. And did he loan you $20 for gas?
No. How else is he going to get anywhere beside me?
So he just paid you for busing him to the strip clubs?
Every time I tell him to
Done. Okay. I am ordering you to pay back $950. I am allowing you to keep November rent because of the insufficient notice. I find that there's insufficient proof that the gas money was a loan as opposed to paying for some of the gas that was able to take you to multiple times to the strip clubs. Because how else are you going to get there? It's Orlando, you know? All right. So I'm ordering you to return $950 of money to the plaintiff. That's my verdict and your court costs, of course.
Both sides, just hold on right there, please. You know, you cannot end a lease because the person you're living with just simply annoys you. That is not enough to make it unbearable. You either have to stick with it or lose your deposit.